Right, today we have a property investor in the hot seat. He is a buyer's Fox client. He's 29, he's an estimator. He's been investing in property for 2.5 years and accumulated over 500,000 in net equity over that short amount of time. He's got 3 properties and we are looking to double his portfolio over the next 12 months. The funniest thing about Shamus, he's making a modest wage. He's on 100 to 120,000. He's done very well with what he's got. And if you are stuck at 2-3 properties and you want to keep growing, this would be the perfect podcast for you. Shamus, how are you, mate?
Good, thanks, Jake. How are you?
Good, man. Good. Let's start. Let's go back to the moment. Like, why property? Why did it click for you?
Yeah.
How did it start?
Well, in the start of 2023, I actually had no idea about property investing at all.
2023, so it's only been 2.5 years, basically.
Yeah, that's it.
And how many properties do you have? Right now?
I've got 3 right now.
3 properties. How much equity all up would you say? Net equity?
About 500,000.
500,000, 2.5 years you've been investing, 3 properties.
Yeah.
That's pretty crazy.
Yeah, it's been
That's pretty nuts when you think
journey
about
so
it.
far.
So how did it start? Why did you get into property? What sparked the idea?
Well, as I said, I had no idea about it at all. My wife and I just had our first baby at the end of 2022. So she'd stopped working and she was going to be a stay-at-home mum and then she was going to homeschool the kids. So we were looking at a single income for at least a long time.
Yeah.
My wife's parents and her brother were investors, Jaden.
Mm-hmm.
He sat down with me and kind of ran me through how it all works, from like loans, from property growth, recycling equity.
So he's done a couple property deals and he's sort of...
Yeah, I think he had 2 maybe by then.
Yeah, mad.
And then the next day we went to the bank and got pre-approval.
Next day, just like
Next
that?
day, yeah. Same day had booked in with a BA.
Mm-hmm.
And then it just started from there, doing education through podcasts, property course, and that kind of started the ball rolling.
Yeah, wow. It sounds like it went so quick for you.
Yeah.
Because I don't hear many stories. You know, you've only been doing this for 2.5 years, and like you've done very well for 2.5 years. You know.
Yeah. Well, I started investing when I was 26. So we've never been big spenders.
Mm-hmm.
So I had a pretty decent deposit saved up, a fair bit of savings. So by the time I did start, we were in a pretty good position to start making moves.
So you already had like the deposit saved up before you even knew you were going to get into property.
Yeah, well, I just had all this money sitting there, not using anything.
Yeah.
So it was good that we kind of started doing something with it.
Yeah, 100%. So did anything stop you from, like, why did it take so long sort of to get into property? Why was it just like a knowledge you didn't?
Yeah, it was just, they don't teach you that in school. And growing up, I was just never exposed to it. No one in my family invested. I just never thought about it until, I met my wife's family and they had invested themselves and they suggested that I should be doing it and ran me through it. And then once I actually understood how it worked and like the potential it had to create the passive income, it was kind of a no-brainer.
Yeah, 100%. How long did it take you to save up that first deposit?
Well, I was 26 when I first bought the first property. So I was saving up until then. So
from like 17, 18, you're talking. Wow, that's crazy.
Yeah, I did 4 years of uni working part-time.
Mm-hmm.
I saved all that, and then I guess another 2 to 3 years working full-time, saving up again.
Yeah, wow, that's insane. So what do you think you were saving per year to get up to that point at 26 to buy your first property?
Oh, I'm not too sure what it was, but
it seems like there's a lot of sacrifice that went into that over that time frame.
Yeah, there was a big deposit saved up, and we'd also spent a lot of money as well fitting out a motorhome.
Mm-hmm.
So we had a lot of money in that, which we later sold and put back into the portfolio as well.
Yeah, for sure. So let's go into like your first property purchase. You're 26. You got your deposit saved up. You saved for the last 7-8 years. Now we're going into your first property at 26. So how does it look now going into the 12 months after 26? 'Cause I know you did buy a couple of properties.
Yeah, in the first 12 months we bought 3 properties.
Yeah.
And yeah, that was pretty good. We had no cash left after that. It got pretty tight. We went hard, like knowing that the harder we go early, the more it's going to compound, and you got more in the market to grow.
And who told you that? Was that like friends that already had properties and stuff like that? Or
yeah, just from watching other podcasts and speaking to some other people.
Yeah. And
I read a couple of investing books. So just my own education, I guess.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah, so we it got pretty tough because we put all our money into getting the third one in.
Yeah.
We had like no buffers, pretty much had no savings. So we were going on like less than 5K savings between us for about 9 months.
Yeah, that's great. 3 properties in your first year of property investing. Yeah. That's insane. So after that, that's when me and you started talking, right?
Yeah.
And what did we do from there?
After that, we decided it was best for me to sell the first 2 properties, which we did that. And
because you had so much growth in those couple of properties, hey?
Yeah.
And we looked into the markets that they were at, and they've done crazy growth over that short amount of time.
Yeah.
And they were sort of hitting the peak of their market cycles.
Yeah.
And you did say you were stuck on that third property. So talk us through like what happened next.
Yeah. So they both had enough growth that it was okay to sell, and I couldn't do anything else. Until I did that.
Because you were literally stuck at the third one, hey?
Yeah, I couldn't do anything else. Well, we only just squeezed in the third one. We had to go a lower price bracket.
Yeah.
So yeah, we sold the first 2 and got a fair bit of cash back, and then that opened up the serviceability as well, and we're able to go again with more cash. We went into another 2 properties with yourself, and they've just settled in December and January.
Yeah. So you've got your 2 properties over the last couple of months.
Yeah.
You sold 2, you were cashed up, your serviceability is now increased like massively.
Yeah.
Now we're looking for new markets that are at the bottom or like just starting to heat up in their property cycles. We wanted to get you really good deals on the way in. And that's pretty much what we've done. I'd love to talk about these 2 because they're crazy. Eh?
Yeah, they're good, yeah. I think at the time of purchase, you valued them about 20 or 30K each under market value. But I think we're 3 months on now, and we're looking at maybe potentially 80 and 100K
on each.
Yeah, great.
That's pretty nutty over like a couple of months.
I know, it's less than 3 months. So
yeah, that was like we hit those 2 deals. It was the perfect time in the market.
Yeah,
both the deals actually, they were from agents they weren't actually selling in that market at the time. They were out of area agents. So they weren't quite aware of what was actually going on in that market.
Yeah.
So they were still pricing those listings like the same prices as they were selling 6 to 12 months ago.
Yeah.
And we managed to pick up some pretty good deals there. They sent it to us pretty cheap. Then we negotiated a little bit more off, and there you go. 80 to 100K, on each one over.
Yeah.
It's literally 2 months.
Yeah. 2 months.
We got them both in 9 days.
Yeah, I signed 2 contracts within 9 days.
Yeah, it's crazy. It's your story, like how quick you're moving. It's probably I haven't heard anyone move this quick.
Yeah.
You know? Like you've only been doing this for 2.5 years.
Yeah, and that gets us excited as well because we're going to be able to buy more throughout the year and accumulate.
Yeah, I think this year you're gonna be in for a big year.
Yeah.
So I wanted to go into like what's your goal sort of this year? I know we've spoken about it, but what are you sort of thinking?
I always just want to go as hard as we can.
Yeah.
I'm thinking that means we're getting ready to do the next lot of purchases, which I think will be another 3.
Yeah.
We've just got our third one property number 3 that I bought valued, and that's got a fair bit of equity in it.
Yeah. So you're still cashed up from those 2 sales you did.
Yeah.
You've got a fair bit of equity now from the recent purchases. We're looking to double your portfolio basically by the end of the year.
Yeah.
I think we were speaking at the start of the year and you wanted to, think you wanted 6 by the end of the year and you're currently on 3.
Yeah.
I was saying to you like, man, I think we can do a lot more than that, to be
I
honest,
think
in
so,
your
yeah.
position. So
Yeah, I was looking at it a couple of weeks ago and I think we could, I'm aiming for 3 in the next few months and then probably towards the back end of the year, maybe another 2.
Yeah, 100%, 100%.
Awesome.
It's crazy when you actually sit down and you look at like what you've done, hey, because you don't realize it because there's so much stuff going on like week to week.
Yeah, I know.
Like I was this morning before we came in here, I was looking at your situation. I was just running over it again. I'm like, how much you've grown over 2.5 years. Just couldn't believe it, you know?
Yeah. I didn't realize the position I was in until I reassessed like where I was at a couple of weeks ago when I was just mapping out some future purchases and how close I kind of am to kind of setting the portfolio up to be like self-funded.
Yeah, 100%.
Yeah.
Do you have any plans like when it is self-funded? Get back in the bus and travel Australia.
It is. We are planning on moving back into a caravan.
Yeah, man.
That'd be something we'd love to do. Don't know how soon we can do that. Maybe 3 or 4 years.
Yep.
But yeah, we'll wait till we sort out the portfolio, get it to a
for sure.
income.
I think this year is pretty important year for you. Like, I find a lot of people, it takes a while for them to get to like 3, 4, 5 properties, but then when you sort of get around that 3, 4, 5 properties, you can really start growing it hard there because you got 3, 4, 5 properties ticking away. A lot of them have equity built up, and then you can start pulling them and using that to go into more like high growth deals with massive discounts on the way in, and just keep building it like that. And I think you're like in that position right now where we can start to go really hard, really fast.
Yeah.
Mate, how much money are you making? You're like, you've bought all these properties over 2.5 years. What do you do for work? Like, what's your income sort, just rough?
On 120 a year.
120 a year?
Yeah. And it's like an estimator for a door and frame company.
Yeah, crazy.
Yeah. So just, they're actually based in Sydney. I'm up here in the Goldie. So just work from home.
Yeah.
Pretty crazy.
Yeah. One thing I'd love to point out is you've made 500,000, 2.5 years equity, and you're on 120K income.
Yeah.
How long would it take you to save like 500 grand up? You know what I mean? That's insane.
Yeah. The growth in property, it's just, you can't match it by saving. Yeah.
Like you said at the start, you started in a caravan. Now you're buying all these properties.
Yeah.
We're probably going to get you to 6, 7, maybe 8 by the end of the year, and then you're going to finish back in the caravan.
Yeah.
So it sounds like the whole reason you want freedom, right?
Yeah, that's it. Yeah, we'd like to. We'd love to just be able to travel around in a caravan. My goal is to retire and do that while the kids are still young. If we can build that passive income and then to replace both mine and my wife's partner income.
And this is exactly how we're going to get you there, right?
Yeah,
like
that's
it's looking pretty good at the moment.
Yeah. And then once we do that, I'd love to either scale back or retire fully and spend time with the kids while they're young and do some traveling.
Yeah, 100%.
Yeah.
What's funny about your story, because like it's honestly perfect because you came to us when you were stuck on 3 properties, and so many people get stuck on 3, right?
Yeah.
And one thing about your story that I love that a lot of people, they like don't think of, a lot of people are scared to sell their properties that, they want to buy them, they want to hold them for the rest of their life and never do anything with them. You came to us with 3 and, you did say you were stuck, like we couldn't do anything else. Your borrowing capacity was capped. You had so much money in these first 2 properties and your borrowing capacity was capped, like we couldn't even pull equity out of them. So we looked back into the markets and we realized, there was better opportunity elsewhere. If we just sold these things, they're already at the peak of their market. I told you about a few markets we're buying in now and they're like, you're just starting out. And I think it's just, a lot of people don't do that. Like a lot of people hold on to those properties and they're too scared to sell them, and look how much it's launched you forward by selling those 2 properties.
Yeah.
We are sourcing around 10 to 15 off-market deals a month. These are hitting our desks each month. Very rare deals. You're probably listening to the media, and as you know, it is very, very hard to get stock right now in Australia. They're quality deals, so they are getting snapped up straight away, normally within 2 to 4 hours. If you're looking to invest, apply with us at Buyers Fox. Whether you are sitting on a bit of cash or a bit of equity, we have brokers who will be able to get you a pre-approval fast, depending on your situation. We have deals ready to go each month, typically 10 to 15. These deals go very quickly because, as you know, in Australia right now, it's very hard to get your hands on stock. So don't miss out on this opportunity. Get in the queue.
I'm very focused on the end goal. Like, I'm not attached to the properties that I'm buying at the moment because
Well, that's perfect.
yeah,
Because a lot of people get really attached to them. That's like one of the biggest mistakes you can have.
Yeah, we're kind of using them as, I guess, a vehicle for growth. They're not the end goal. The end goal is that to build the actual income.
Yeah.
So I just had to remind myself that, and selling those properties was the only way forward. But
where do you think you'd be now if you didn't sell?
Still stuck at 3 properties.
Yeah. And you're going to miss out on those two deals. Like, because we timed that market. You got into that market at the perfect time.
Yeah.
Those two we got, yeah.
Those 2 that I sold had pretty much peaked as well. So they wouldn't have had much more growth of them. And then selling, getting the cash back, and then putting them into these new 2 properties. Yeah. We're just getting all that growth now.
Yeah, well, a lot of people think, just buy a property and it'll just go up forever.
Yeah.
But like every market and every like town, city, whatever in Australia, they're all at like different times in the market,
Yeah.
Like there's markets that are just starting out where other ones have peaked out of the top, and that's exactly what we did with you. You're in 2 markets that were peaked out of the top. We sold them, took all your profits out of that, and we reinvested it into 2 different deals in markets that are like just coming up, and you still got money left over. We can keep using,
Yeah.
So yeah, it was perfect.
Yeah. Initially I thought that it was a mistake. When we first started, we used the bank for our first 2 pre-approvals rather than go to a broker.
Yeah.
Which is probably standard. Yeah. But with us being a single income family, I thought it was it would go into a broker probably would have stretched it a little bit more, our servicing. But after selling, like we were forced to sell, but it gave us all this cash that we pretty much could reset with all this cash and stretch it further and be a bit smarter with how we bought them, like with structures as well.
Yeah.
And I feel like that's just accelerated everything.
So if you could go back in time, you would say that that's one thing that you would change?
I thought it was. Like, I thought going to a broker would have been better. So then maybe we could have
to be honest, like it's not your first couple. It doesn't. You can go to a bank or a lender for your, a bank lender for your first couple properties. It doesn't matter too much. I find like after, well, it all depends on your income, to be honest, but roughly around 2, 3, 4 properties, depending on your income, then it gets. You got to start using like an investment savvy mortgage broker. They have some creative ways of getting around things and keep building the portfolio. Where your typical bank lender, they're only looking in their little world, of like policies and stuff like that.
Yeah.
So
I am happy with how it played out going to the bank the first 2, because I feel like selling those 2 and then resetting with all the cash it's meant that we go harder now, and I feel like it's setting me up better than it would have if we tried to go through a broker.
Was there anything that you went through leading up? Because you did say like it took you a long time to save that first deposit up,
Yeah. Like,
did you have to sacrifice anything or leading up to that point?
Not too much. We were living in a motorhome at the time.
Yeah.
So we'd been living in a bus for maybe a year and a half prior to that. So we were in the bus, we were paying no rent, no electricity, no water.
Perfect.
So yeah, it actually...
You're perfect for the banks, mate.
Yeah, I know. So that actually was a massive help for the serviceability.
I'd have been throwing money at you.
Yeah. And saving as well.
Yeah, saving. So that's the secret, eh?
Yeah.
To saving all that money up.
Yeah, it was good because, we weren't paying $700 a week for rent. We were just free camping in New South Wales.
Yeah.
paying no rent.
So were you like driving around to different spots every couple of days, or were you just parked in one place for like?
Yeah, we travelled. We started in Sydney and then we went up to Townsville and then back.
Yeah, mad.
It took us, I think we were travelling for about 6 months, and then we kind of hung around northern New South Wales and camped up at Burleigh Caravan Park for a while. Yeah, it was nice.
Yeah, nice.
And that that was massive for saving for us. And then we kind of moved into an apartment kind of around the third purchase, the third property.
So you're still in the motorhome on your first two?
Yeah.
Yeah, sweet. Yep. And how'd that actually go with the banks and lending and stuff? So were they pretty keen on lending to you? Because, you don't really have many expenses,
address,
Yeah, how did that work?
I think the broker had to put it through as, I can't remember what they put it through as, but it was something tricky that they had to figure out. But yeah, I can't remember what they did for it.
And if you look back through your whole journey, like, is there anything that you think you could have done better or you'd do differently?
The only thing I would change is getting in earlier, because as I said, I had a pretty good deposit when I decided to start. I just had no idea about investing in property. Yeah,
because you did touch on before. You said something about like the compounding effect. Yeah. You had a mate tell you about the compounding effect. Yeah. And like, imagine you've done, honestly, like over this short amount of time you've been in property, it's actually crazy how well you've done. Yeah. Imagine though, like you said, if you started 19, 20, 21.
I know, yeah.
Oh my God. I don't even just one scares me where you'd be at, you know what I mean?
Yeah, even just 1 or 2 years earlier.
Yeah, 100%.
An extra year or two of growth. I definitely could have got in probably more than 2 years earlier.
Yeah.
Would have just had that extra growth, and that would have just compounded.
Yeah.
But I just had no idea about it until I was told about it.
So get in earlier, get your foot in the door.
Yeah, that's it.
But man, like you're doing so well at the moment, and you got to like this year you're going to go crazy with like what you got.
Yeah.
Man, I think you'll be fine, to be honest.
Yeah,
I think you're going to be sweet.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to seeing what we can do this year.
Yeah, 100%. Did you have any like light bulb moments throughout your journey? Like, was there any moments where you're like, wow, all right, this is actually working. You know, I can see I can see what this is doing for me now. You know.
Well, after I bought after about the first 12 months, I started seeing the actual growth in the properties.
First 12 months.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And that was when I realized that, like it's actually a reality that we could achieve this passive income and I can replace like my wife's income. And then after selling the properties and then buying these two, like I've still got cash left over to go again with some more. We've got equity to go again for some more. I can just see how much it's compounding. And
excited?
I am excited.
Next 12 months?
Yeah. And like I can actually understand how possible it is to replace both of our incomes and like consider retiring probably in the 100%. Next 5 or 6
years. And like
years.
you're not making millions of dollars a year, you know. You're on like that, you're 100, 120K a year. You're living out of a caravan, you know. You've done 500,000 over the last 2.5 years, and we're about to get you another 3-4 properties by the end of the year. Like we have other clients on 100, 120K and they got 6-7 properties. Yeah. You know, you don't need to, I think it's misconception where people think you need this huge income to be able to keep growing your portfolio. But the properties that we're targeting, there's a reason we're targeting them, you know.
Yeah.
It's for a reason. Each property we buy, it helps you get to the next one.
Yeah.
Like it's pretty much exactly what we're doing with you right now.
Yeah. And just time in the market.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah. Yeah. Without your help, obviously, I probably would still be stuck at the 3 properties. It's allowed me to accelerate the portfolio so much. And then putting them into these last 2 properties, like the whole process of getting these 2 deals with yourself, like it was so smooth. Signing the 2 contracts in 9 days.
Crazy.
It was such a short turnaround compared to what we'd been used to. and the lower price bracket for the properties as well. That was just a massive lift for the portfolio.
No, thank you, mate. Yeah, it was all happened pretty quick. 2 deals within 9 days.
Yeah.
Well, each deal I think was under. Well, one was $390K, one was $420.
Yeah.
$420. So nice cheap price points there.
Yeah.
Big discounts as well in a high growth location that's going off its head at the moment. So I think you're pretty good.
Yeah, I'm stoked with them both. I'm excited to see how they'll be in the next 6 months. We'll probably revisit them in 6 months and see what we can pull out of them.
See if we can pull some equity out and keep going.
Yeah.
Mate, if there was anyone on the fence in a sort of similar position to you, or, you said you wish you got in a bit earlier, what would you say to them?
I'd say just to get started, like getting in there and getting the time in the market. That's just the best
that compound
way
growth.
Yeah,
just letting time do it for you.
Yeah, that's it.
Yeah, 100%. I think when you add all these things together, you get into the market at the right time, you get a good discount on the way in. You add that time in the market as well on top of that by getting in, early. Then even adding getting a deal that has potential to add value to later on. You add all those things together, you can outperform like the Australian property market average easily. Doing all that, we've seen it many times before.
Yeah.
Exactly what we're doing for you, exactly what we've done on the last 2. And I think, it's going to be a big year for you.
Yeah, I'm excited to see what we can do.
So you had your first 2 on your personal name, then your 3 currently a trust.
Yeah.
Yeah. And we're gonna
so that was kind of why we got stuck after the first 3.
Yeah, because your first 2 bought in personal name, and that's what pretty much tanked your borrowing capacity, right? Because you were on that 120K income.
Yeah. So then that was part of the decision in selling the first 2 because we obviously free up all the serviceability by having nothing in my personal name.
Yeah.
We have the cash, and then it allows us to kind of restart but buy the next properties in trusts.
Yeah.
And that will allow us to stretch the serviceability further.
Yeah, 100%. And just structuring that right now is so important to keep it growing. And that's what we've done on these last 2 purchases, and we've planned out the next couple and we've structured them in a certain way that will allow you to keep growing.
Yeah. Yeah, that's it. Otherwise we'll just end up stuck again.
Yeah. Yeah, so from switching to your personal name to a trust, it was a bit daunting. You didn't really know.
As I said, I'd only started learning about property investing a year and a half before at this stage.
It's happened pretty quick, mate. You've been doing it for 2.5 years.
Yeah, I had no idea what a trust was, how it works. I did as much learning as I could and lent on people close to me, yourself included. Had to use an accountant obviously to set the trust up. It was pretty confusing process for me first getting my head around.
Yeah, it is
like setting up companies and
well, man, that's probably like one of the biggest mistakes everyone makes. So I've made that mistake because when I started, I had no one helping me. I bought my first 3 properties in my personal name. And man, I'm bleeding in land tax at the moment because of them. I wish I set them up in trust. When you're on that lower income, it's so much better to get into trusts earlier.
Yeah.
Even from the start, it might even be better. Everyone's different, right? But yeah, I think in your situation, we've made it work. Everyone's different. There's always ways out of things, and I think with your situation, we've made it work.
Yeah.
And looking forward, we're going to set it up properly now, and we've planned it out, and it'll allow you to keep growing.
Yeah. Yeah. And we've got the appropriate buffers in place to move forward.
Yeah.
And it's all going to be pretty proper now.
Yeah, 100%.
Yeah.
Thank you for listening. We'll see you on the next episode.